Everyone, this is Tanqueray. She's moving in. I'm gonna make her a success.
Oh, we're wearing the same outfit.
You know what's crazy? The Smith family isn't just dysfunctional. They're literally the 7 deadly sins incarnate. I'm not kidding. Pride, lust, wrath, envy, greed, gluttony, and sloth all live at 42 Spooner Street, and it's not an accident. The writers knew exactly what they were doing when they created these characters. Let me blow your mind and show you how each family member perfectly embodies one of humanity's worst traits. Look, you might think I'm reaching here, but stick with me. Once you see this pattern, you can't unsee it. Every episode makes more sense when you realize you're not just watching a family sitcom, you're watching a morality play where the moral is that everybody sucks.
I can't, Jeff. I'm having stupid dinner with my stupid family.
You see, Stan? Our family's drifting apart.
All right, Francine, just relax. I know exactly what we need.
The Bible lists pride, lust, wrath, envy, greed, gluttony, and sloth as humanity's greatest failings. Guess what? The Smiths collected all 7 like they're Pokemon cards. Think I'm overthinking this? Let me walk you through each character and show you how perfectly they embody these ancient sins. By the end of this video, you'll realize that American Dad isn't just comedy. It's a theological experiment disguised as Sunday night entertainment.
I don't know any of these. Point is, with this regimen, I can take my peak and turn it into a mesa. Flat greatness forever.
Stan is pride personified, and I mean that in the worst possible way. This man would literally die before admitting he's wrong about anything. Remember the episode where he needs surgery but insists on doing it himself? That's not confidence. That's pride so toxic it could be classified as a mental illness.
Damn, son, bring a bucket and mop, am I right? But if I can be serious, this is moving fast. Maybe a tiny bit of Botox to freshen up instead?
Pride isn't just arrogance. It's the inability to accept that you might not be God's gift to creation. Stan's entire identity is built on being right, being superior, being the alpha male.
Sometimes when someone is choking, you have to get behind them and give them the Heimlich. This was not that. I was not helping your mother with a leg cramp. I was not giving her a lying down hug. I was not helping her look for her contact. I was plowing, Steve.
The guy can't even ask for directions without having an existential crisis. What makes Stan's pride brilliant is how it stems from massive insecurity. He grew up with an absent father, works in a government job where he's basically irrelevant, and deep down knows he's kind of a failure. So he overcompensates by never ever admitting fault.
The father-son picnic. And as usual, my dad, Jack, was the only one who didn't show up. I felt so alone. After that, I came back every day after school. And I know this sounds crazy, but the tree raised me. He taught me how to play catch. He watched me grow.
The show literally runs on Stan's pride. Remember when he thought AIDS was caused by living in a nuclear waste dump? Instead of admitting he was wrong when corrected, he doubled down and tried to prove his insane theory. That's pride, destroying everything around you rather than losing face. Every Stan-centered episode follows the same formula. Pride leads to disaster. Disaster leads to chaos. Chaos forces a reckoning. But instead of growing, Stan finds a way to maintain his pride. It's like watching someone hit the same wall over and over again.
To best buds by Earth standards.
Why do you have to qualify it like that?
No, it's great. It's just on my planet, best buds have a ritual where they just really connect.
Roger is lust incarnate, but don't just think sexual lust. This alien embodies all forms of consuming desire for attention, experiences, power, chaos. He's what happens when want becomes a way of life.
How'd you know I was fireproof? I didn't even know. Wait, you did know I was, right?
Roger doesn't just want things, he needs them with the desperation of an addict. Whether it's a new persona, a role in a play, or someone else's life, Roger will lie, manipulate, seduce, and destroy to get what he craves.
Hey, why are we at the docks? Well, what's going on?
What's going on is we're stealing cashmere sweaters.
But Ricky, you've made so much progress. You've changed.
People don't change, Steve. You're thinking of changelings.
The genius of Roger as lust is his alien nature. He doesn't understand human boundaries or consequences. When he wants your wife, he seduces her. When he wants your job, he destroys your life. When he wants to experience motherhood, he steals someone's baby. There's no moral framework limiting his desires.
Mrs. Weinsteinopoulos, half Greek, half Jewish, all overprotective mother to my son Dimitri here.
Mom, we talked about boundaries.
What's terrifying about Roger is how his lust isn't just about personal gratification. It's about experiencing everything possible. He'll become a drug dealer just to feel what it's like. He'll break up families just to see what happens. He's pure want without wisdom. And somehow, we love watching him. That's the power of lust. It's magnetic, charismatic, and utterly destructive. Roger proves that the most entertaining characters are often the most morally bankrupt.
Hombre, what's the matter?
It's just, I kind of missed my family.
Brosicle, I'm your family now, and this dude is never, ever gonna leave you. Never. Spike Baltar's dead in your pool. You're finished. I'm out of here.
Steve represents sloth, but not just physical laziness. Steve embodies spiritual and intellectual sloth, the sin of wasted potential. This kid consistently chooses mediocrity over excellence, safety over growth. Every episode with Steve follows the same pattern. Opportunity presents itself. Steve gets excited. Reality sets in. Steve quits.
Smith, that sweet and sassy speed scatting is exactly why I asked you to join the swing choir.
The honor is all mine. Ever since I got to Pearl Bailey, it's been a dream of mine to join Jasma Attack.
Remember when he showed incredible artistic talent but gave up because it was too hard? That's sloth, the sin of not becoming who you could be. Here's what's tragic about Steve's sloth. It's learned behavior. He's figured out that not trying means not disappointing Stan. So he's chosen a life of low expectations over the risk of high failure. It's emotional survival disguised as laziness.
Oh, Steve, Mommy's here, honey.
Francine, remember the cow.
Steve, you're a big boy. You're gonna be fine.
Steve has shown he's capable of incredible things. He's musically talented, intellectually gifted, and occasionally shows real courage. But he consistently chooses not to develop these gifts. That's what makes his sloth so frustrating. It's chosen mediocrity. The writers use Steve's sloth to explore how toxic family dynamics create underachievement. When your father expects either perfection or nothing, sometimes nothing starts looking pretty good.
Oh, I'm singing a summer day song. Now my little friend chirps along.
Francine is wrath, and when she loses it, property values plummet. You think I'm exaggerating? This woman has literally destroyed restaurants, fought airport security, and gone on vigilante killing sprees. Her anger doesn't just burn bridges, it vaporizes them.
I hate you.
Ah, that's nice. The calm before the resolution. Whoa, wait a minute. She's been discharged.
What makes Francine's wrath perfect is the contrast. She's patient, loving, nurturing, until she's not.
You are such a good kid, Steve. And you know what? I would rather have a son who's a great person than a son who goes to a great school. I wrote the note and kidnapped Akiko.
You what?
I put her in a cage.
Then she becomes a force of nature that makes hurricanes look like mild weather disturbances. Biblical wrath isn't about constant anger. It's about devastating fury when pushed too far. Remember the episode where she becomes a vigilante because the city won't fix potholes? She didn't just complain. She went full Punisher on the city. That's Francine's wrath. When the system fails, she becomes the system. A violent, destructive system.
And there's no more scraping snot rockets off the shower tiles. And no more PB&J with the crust cut off.
The show uses Francine's wrath brilliantly. Most of the time, she's the family's emotional anchor, but when that anchor breaks loose, it destroys everything in its path. Her explosions feel earned because we've seen how much she endures before snapping. Francine proves that wrath isn't just a male emotion. Sometimes the nicest people harbor the darkest fury. And when it finally comes out, run.
I'm just a regular Haley. My hat's in the dumpster.
Okay. Did you need to sign up for a class? Because she's about to start.
Who's she?
Haley embodies a specific type of envy, moral envy. She doesn't want what others have. She resents them for having it. She envies people who can be happy while injustice exists. It's envy disguised as righteous indignation. Think about Haley's character arc. She's miserable most of the time, not because her life is bad, but because she can't ignore the world's problems like everyone else. She envies ignorance, envies the ability to be blissfully unaware. What's brilliant about Haley's envy is how it drives her activism. She fights for causes partly because she resents those who don't feel the same moral burden.
Oh, son of a I was supposed to get gas!
Did you?
It's altruism poisoned by resentment. She's helping the world partly out of spite for those who won't. The writers use Haley to explore how good intentions can be corrupted by negative emotions. She's often right about the issues she champions, but her motivations are sometimes more about proving others wrong than actually helping. Haley shows that envy doesn't have to be about material things. Sometimes it's about envying others' moral freedom, their ability to not care as much as you do.
Hey, Klaus. You remember my friend Danuta, right?
Of course. Banging bods, super long fingers, total smoke show.
Klaus represents greed for relevance, for mattering, for any scrap of human experience. Trapped in a fishbowl, he's become desperate for importance, power, influence, anything that makes him feel alive again. Klaus's greed isn't about money or possessions. It's about agency. He'll manipulate, betray, and scheme just for a moment of significance.
Relax. Steve just has to reunite with his old friends. And once you see how tight me and my boys are, you'll know how to make that happen.
Remember when he possessed someone's body just to feel human again? That's greed for basic humanity. What makes Klaus tragic is that his greed comes from genuine deprivation.
Hey, Klaus! It's me! Don't do the jump!
Oh, God, he's in my old body. Piss off, Stan! I'm doing this!
Before becoming a fish, he was an Olympic skier with a full human life. Now he's trapped, watching everyone else live while he just exists. That kind of loss creates desperate hunger. The show uses Klaus to explore how powerlessness can corrupt. When you have nothing, you become willing to do anything to get something. Klaus proves that greed isn't always about having too much. Sometimes it's about having nothing at all. Klaus's greed makes him dangerous because it's so relatable. Who wouldn't become desperate if stripped of their humanity? His sin is the most understandable and therefore the most heartbreaking.
Principal Lewis, you're a psychologist?
Oh, no, I just do this to pick up some extra cash to feed my watch fetish. Yep, looks like the pottery class is coming in. Perhaps we should relocate.
Principal Lewis is gluttony personified, not just for food, but for every experience, every sensation, every possible high. This man has zero impulse control and somehow runs a school.
Who wants to see me pee on this cake?
Principal Brian Lewis, my last single guy friend.
Lewis doesn't just overindulge, he's compulsively excessive. Drugs, food, sex, violence, if it can be consumed, Lewis consumes it to dangerous levels. He represents gluttony as a lifestyle choice rather than a momentary weakness. What's horrifying about Lewis is his position. This man is responsible for children's education and safety, but he's too busy getting high to care. The show uses him to illustrate how gluttony doesn't just destroy the glutton, it corrupts everything they touch. Lewis represents pure appetite without conscience. He wants everything immediately and considers no consequences.
No! You're supposed to be on the wagon, not drinking toilet wine with your prison wife!
We had some great times together. He knows me so well. I was afraid of dying alone, and maybe now I don't have to.
When the person in charge of your kids has the self-control of a toddler, society has a problem. The genius of Lewis as gluttony is that he's often funny.
But the implications are terrifying. Imagine finding out your kid's principal is exactly this person. Suddenly, his gluttony isn't just character comedy, it's social nightmare.
So, there you have it, American Dad's complete collection of deadly sins. 7 characters, 7 fundamental human flaws, all orbiting each other in suburban chaos. Did the writers plan this? Probably not. But good character writing naturally creates these archetypes. Each sin isn't just a character trait. It drives specific storylines. Stan's pride starts conflicts. Roger's lust creates chaos. Steve's sloth wastes opportunities. Francine's wrath destroys obstacles. Haley's envy fuels her activism. Klaus's greed drives his schemes. And Lewis's gluttony corrupts everything around him. What's brilliant is how these sins interact. Stan's pride clashes with Haley's envy. Roger's lust enables Klaus's greed. Steve's sloth frustrates Francine's wrath. They're not just individual flaws, they're a dysfunctional ecosystem of human failure. This is why American Dad works when other shows fail. These aren't random quirks or surface-level jokes. These are fundamental character flaws that drive real drama and genuine comedy. The show doesn't just make fun of these sins, it explores how they shape real people's lives. American Dad isn't just an animated sitcom, it's a study in human nature's worst impulses. The Smith family represents all of us at our worst, and somehow that makes them relatable. We see ourselves in their failures, their sins, their complete inability to learn from mistakes. That's the show's secret weapon. It doesn't pretend these characters are good people. It shows them as flawed humans struggling with the same moral failures that have plagued mankind since the beginning. Pride, lust, wrath, envy, greed, gluttony, and sloth aren't just abstract concepts. They're living, breathing, screwing up in suburbia. What do you think? Did I nail these assignments, or am I completely off base? Let me know which character you think represents which sin and whether you've seen these patterns in other shows. And if you want to see how these very sins make Stan Smith the actual villain of American Dad, check out our next video. Trust me, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Thanks for watching, and remember, we're all sinners, but at least we're not the Smiths. Although, are we sure about that?